Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Wednesday, May 14th. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to have 4 MLB home run picks for you guys to lock in for today's MLB betting slate. It is a Wednesday, so we got some day games. Very confident in the 4 plays that I have for you guys today. Of course, we got to do a recap from yesterday. I cannot hide from it. I'm just in a rut. There's no other way to describe it. I ended up going with 4 official guys yesterday on the Dong Report. Now, Byron Buxton, that game got postponed, so that one we just got our money back. With Buxton out, I added Will Smith, and he did not hit a home run. We went 0 for 4 yesterday. That now makes it 5 straight days in which we haven't gotten the guy to hit a home run. So that's what, like between 15 and 20 straight losers on the Dong Report. I wish I could come here and tell you something different. It is what it is. And I get people being frustrated in the comments. I get it. I'm frustrated myself. That's home run betting for you guys. And sometimes I have bad luck where I'm taking a guy and he hits the ball 390 feet off the wall. Sometimes it's just a bad bet and the guy doesn't even come close. Like Wood hit one 390 feet yesterday. Wasn't a home run. Some other guys didn't even come close. It's just been a mixture of bad looks and bad luck. But that's what happens. You know, on the entire season, we're still turning a profit. But we are in the danger zone. You know, we have 4 more days of like we've had the last 5. We are going to be down for the season. I never thought it would get to the point where it would be this bad, but that's just how it's been. We're up 3.78 units if you're following my unit size guiding, which is mostly a quarter unit on every play. If you're just putting blindly 1 unit on every play, you're up a little bit over 16 units regardless, up 8% or so ROI. You know, we have a good day. This number is going to get up to 15 to 20%. We just need to have a good day for that to happen. So again, I understand everybody's frustration. I'm frustrated myself. I got 4 plays for you guys today. I did promise myself I would switch it up a little bit, and I'm not just going to go back to the same guys that haven't been hitting, even though I will say that is part of a good home run betting strategy. Guys go on hot streaks, and guys, there's like a window where they're just on a roll for 2 weeks. I've just been choosing the wrong guys. Some of it has been, I'm not going to call it bad luck. Like, you know, over the weekend, and I know I'm just kind of rambling here. I promise I'll get into the picks soon. I went with Corbin Carroll Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He didn't hit a home run either of those 3 days. Guess what? He hit a home run on Monday and Tuesday. Now, if I had kept going with him, I would have been rewarded. But 3 straight days without hitting one, I couldn't go back to him. That's just kind of how it's been. Regardless, the 4 plays today, I really, really like. 2 of them are guys that I've gone with before. 2 of them are guys that are going to be new to the Dong Report, but I did promise myself that all of them would have odds at plus 400 or higher. So let's try to find a little bit more of the long shots here. The first play is Kyle Schwarber. Now, I know you're going to say, how is that a long shot? You're betting on Kyle Schwarber. Well, he's best offered at plus 420 odds, right, at FanDuel, which is a little bit crazy. I guess that one, you could, yeah, still 420. We're good to go there. I guess if you use Bet Rivers or Unibet, you could get him at plus 450. That just seems a little bit too high for my taste for Kyle Schwarber. Normally, he's in like the mid 200s, like, you know, 240 to 260 type. Now we're getting him all the way up at plus 420 at FanDuel. And I don't really understand why. So, you know, I'll gladly take advantage of it. He's going up against Eric Fetty. Now, I know a lot of people are sick of me mentioning Ballpark Pal. I understand that when you're in the middle of a cold streak and that's the source you're using, it's going to be frustrating. I still trust them. And if you believe in Ballpark Pal, it's a plus 10 extreme advantage in favor of Kyle Schwarber. And the pitcher he's going up against, because I wanted to see, like, you know, what are the reason this is priced at plus 420? The pitcher he's going up against, Eric Fetty, he's not terrible. He's not prime Nolan Ryan. He's not Paul Skeens. He's not somebody that is incapable of allowing home runs or anything like that. You look at his stats. Now, the home run per 9 is decently low of 0.58. But he struggles more against lefties. His home run per 9 is slight. Actually, no, it's a little bit lower against lefties. I was misremembering the home run per 9 part specifically. But he's not a guy that's unhittable, right? His fly ball rate plus line drive rate is about 60%. That's not unhittable. Pull rate between 39 and 40%. That's not unhittable. And that hard hit rate is admittedly lower against lefties. But you look at his StatCast, which is what I meant to go, not his splits. Like barrel rate of 8.5%, hard hit rate of 43%, launch angle of 15.4 degrees. None of that screams a pitcher that is incapable of allowing home runs. And it's Kyle Schwarber. Like, he is amazing. His ISO rate of 315, that's the 4th best in the MLB. His barrel rate of 14.3%. That is just below the excellent threshold. And it's actually below what he's been the last 4 years, right? 17.5, 20, 16, and 15%. Down to 14.3. That's still top 30, top 25 in the MLB. Hard hit rate of almost 60% is incredible. And you're saying, okay, is he on a terrible cold streak? Maybe that's why we're getting this at plus 420. Not the case. He's just coming off of a day on Sunday where he hit 2 home runs. Had 2 barrels in that game. Both of them were the home runs. Now, his hard hits over the last 5 games or so, averaging 1 a game. That's not amazing. But look at right before then. 3 with the barrel. 3 with the barrel. 1, but it was a barrel. 3. So it's not like he's ice cold at the plate. And the weather, and I know another thing people are sick of hearing is the weather. All I'm going to say is it's not terrible weather conditions. It's not like he's playing subarctic temperatures where the ball's not going to carry. It's decent weather in Philly, which is already a hitter's ballpark. So I just don't really understand why the odds on this one are at plus 420. Even if we go not just looking at the ballpark pal metrics, but just looking at the pitch mix and stuff, Eric Fetty, everything across the board is highest a B. C minus is what he throws the most is a sinker. Now a sinker is not a home run pitch, but Kyle Schwarber has really good stats against sinkers. And we go to Eric Fetty's Stuff Plus, the only pitch that's above average, according to Stuff Plus, which is a FanGraph metric that just measures literally the quote-unquote stuff of a pitch, like spin rate, velocity, movement, all that stuff. All his pitches are below average. 100 is average. Above average would be above 100. And look at this, 83, 80, 86. These are not good numbers. And you go to Kyle Schwarber, I'm just looking at his numbers against sinkers from right-handed pitchers. They're not amazing. It's not unhittable either. We're looking at Kyle Schwarber against the sinker. Now this is over the 4 weeks. 4 weeks is a tiny sample size. We can even make it the last 8 weeks, which just includes the entire season. 16% barrel rate, hard hit rate of 40% is a little bit low, but fly ball rate of 80%. He is putting the ball in the air. Now it's on 6 at bats, so it's a tiny sample size, but it's not like he can't hit sinkers. And you go to his pitch type splits, and then we'll move on to the next one. We're looking at the sinker specifically. I just want to look at his ISO rate this year. I mean, again, it's a tiny sample size, ISO rate of 625. That's incredible. Last year, not so good, but then 459, 286, 473. All these numbers are above average against the sinker, which is, it's not a home run pitch, but he hits those for power. So Kyle Schwarber at plus 420. I didn't really understand the odds. I'll gladly take advantage of him at plus 420 when a ton matches up in his favor. That's play number 1. Play number 2 is another guy that people are probably sick of, but I'm giving him another chance. It's Kerry Carpenter. I promise the other two both of them are going to be new to the Dong Report. But the odds on Kerry Carpenter is not something that would scare me off. He is actually at plus 475. So this plus 450 is old. He's actually plus 475 at ESPN Bet, and I guess it's now plus 450. It's plus 470 at FanDuel, plus 475 at Bet365. So that's the number that we're tracking here, is the plus 475. Now, Kerry, Ballpark Pal doesn't love the matchup. I think it's a really good one. And if you look at him, we're looking at his, a lot of his numbers are really good. His ISO rate, just below excellent at 246. Excellent is anything 250 and above. His barrel rate, 13.6%. Just below excellent. Anything between 10 and 15 is excellent. Anything 15 and above is excellent. This is according to FanGraphs. What's beautiful about backing Barry/Kerry to hit a home run, above 50% fly ball rate, above 40% pull rate. And you look at his numbers, again, you want to make sure the hitter is good and that he's currently not ice cold, which is the case. Now, 1 hard hit yesterday, that hard hit was above 100 miles an hour. 3 hard hits the day before that, all 3 of those hits were above 100 miles an hour. And the only one the day before that, and then 4 back on May 10th. So he's hitting the ball incredibly hard. He has 14 hits above 100 miles an hour over his last 10 games, which is really good. You look at his barrels over the last 2 weeks, 6 is not amazing. It's nothing to be scared off of either. Now, it's been a couple games since he's barreled one up. That doesn't really scare me off. I mean, this one game he pinch hit, so we can kind of take that away. But yeah, he'll go a couple games in a row without a barrel, and then he'll have two. And so he's been 3 games in a row. I think he's ready to start barreling up some baseballs. And the pitcher is going up against Hunter Dobbins, young guy young in terms of, he's 25, so he's relatively young. He's only made a couple starts this year. Really gets hit hard by lefties. 2 home runs given up on the year, both of them to lefties. Higher average, higher slugging, higher WOBA against left-handed pitching. Or left-handed hitting, excuse me. He's generally a ground ball pitcher, not against lefties. He's still struggling against lefties in his early career. Look at the difference. It's a 16% lower ground ball rate against left-handed hitters. The fly ball rate, 12% higher. Line drive rate, about 3% higher. And the hard hit rate, about 9% higher against left-handed hitters. So all that stuff matches up well for Kerry Carpenter. And yeah, so plus 475 is a good price on Kerry. You know, he was playing in Coors last week. He was like plus 330. And just because he's playing at home, admittedly not in a pitcher's ballpark, he's good at home. You look at his ISO rate at home, it's higher. 297 ISO rate at home, 205 away. You look at the number of home runs he's hit home, 5 home in about 14 fewer at-bats versus 4 away. So the home thing hasn't mattered for Kerry. He pulls it and he puts the ball in the air, which means he doesn't have to hit the ball as far in order for it to be a home run. So that's play number 2, Kerry Carpenter. If you guys are sick of hearing about, I haven't gone with Schwarber in a while, so hopefully the Kerry Carpenter one is fine. Hopefully he's fine, and then people can suck up the Kerry Carpenter. But now we're starting to get to some guys that we haven't bet before, and hopefully this means good luck. Number 1 is Heliot Ramos. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 560 odds at FanDuel, and you're still getting that good price. So no issues here on FanDuel. You're still getting it. Quarter unit on all 3 of these guys. So the biggest thing here for Heliot Ramos is he started off the year kind of cold. You look at his ISO rate on the year, actually. We're not going to look. This might take a little bit to load. So we're going to wait for this to load, and we're going to go to the pitching matchup. Sometimes FanGraphs just like short circuits and takes forever to load. We're good looking at Eduardo Rodriguez. So he is who Heliot Ramos is going up against. Once an ace, not the case anymore. I did not make that rhyme on purpose. So yeah, there we go. Load for me. So Eduardo Rodriguez has allowed 8 home runs. 7 of them have been hit against right-handed hitters. His home run per 9 against righties is a disgusting 2.12. Now, some of his advanced stats are kind of even, but the home run thing is the biggest issue. And the reason why is the pull rate's a little bit higher and the line drive rate is a little bit higher. The ground ball rate is the same, but the guy gets smoked by right-handed hitters. And Heliot Ramos, so now it loaded. A little bit of a slower start than what we would like. ISO rate of 195 is lower than what I typically look for. Normally, I want that to at least be 200 and above. We're 6 weeks into the season. He started off the year ice cold. He's been better recently. And his barrel rate is an acceptable 14%. That's good. That's just below the excellent threshold. Hard hit rate is good. The launch angle is a little bit lower than what we would like. But again, he's been better recently. And the biggest thing for Heliot Ramos, he's very good against left-handed pitching. Now, that hasn't quite shown itself this year. ISO rate of 200 against lefties this year. He's hit 1 home run against a lefty. That home run was hit within the last 2 weeks, and only like 10 plate appearances against lefties over the last 2 weeks. One of those was a home run. Last year, he absolutely annihilated left-handed pitching. ISO rate of 380 against lefties, which is phenomenal. The best hitters in baseball don't have an ISO rate of 380. That's what Heliot Ramos did to lefties last year. And you look at him recently, a hot batter, right? And he is very important that he is hot at the plate because of how he started the year. But we look at him over the last 2 weeks, which is generally gives you like 10 to 12 games, which is kind of a good sample size for hitters. 9 barrels in that stretch is really, really good. And you look at these, not like 2 barrels, 1-1 in a 3-game stretch. 2 barrels, 1-1 in a 3-game stretch. Now, it's funny that it happened in that exact order, and then he went 3 straight games without a barrel. That doesn't necessarily scare me off because, which one of these games was against righties versus lefties and the pitchers and all that stuff. But we're looking at him over this last stretch. 21 hard hits over the last 2 weeks is good, especially when you look at him since like May 6th. 4 hard hits, 1 barrel. 1, okay, so not as much as you would want, but 2, with a couple barrels in there as well. So you look at him recently, his last 2 weeks compared to the season, barrel rate up to 23%, ISO rate up to 333. And again, he's hit a home run, and he's hit 4 home runs in this stretch. One of them was hit against left-handed pitching and only 10 at-bats. So his ISO rate against lefties in the last 2 weeks is much, much higher. So I really, really like going with Heliot Ramos. Plus 560 for him is a very good number. Again, it's a huge advantage in favor of him against the pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez, excuse me. And it's really good from a pitch mix perspective as well. You look at Heliot Ramos against against left-handed pitching. he's got phenomenal numbers on the year. I mean, he's only hit the 1 home run, but he's got a barrel rate of 15%, and he's been much better recently. You look at like the last month instead of the season, that barrel rate goes up to 19%, over 50% hard hit rate. And the top 4 pitches that he's going to see, I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez is given like 1 home run, 3 home runs, 2, 1. Ramos hits all that stuff well. 4-seam fastballs from lefties, 20% barrel rate, 66% hard hit rate. Changeup, which is actually the biggest home run pitch for Eduardo Rodriguez. That changeup doesn't change. Heliot Ramos, over 10% barrel rate, 50% hard hit rate. Those numbers are good. Cutter, form of a 4-seam fastball, just cuts a little bit different. Ramos hasn't barreled one up. And again, these are tiny sample sizes, but he's gotten a hold of one, and he put that one in the air. 96 miles per hour off the bat. The home run he hit was against the sinker, which is what he's going to see only 5% of the times. I don't put a ton of emphasis in that. But the top 3 pitches is 4-seam fastball, cutter, and changeup. Ramos has hit all that stuff really well. I mean, 13% barrel rate, almost 55% hard hit rate. All those numbers are good. So Heliot Ramos at plus 560 to hit a home run, I feel really good about. And then the last guy, our 4th and final pick, another guy, his first time on the Dong Report. So I'm going to send a letter or a award, trophy, whatever you want, in the mail for Trevor Larnach and Heliot Ramos as their first appearances on the Dong Report. And he's our 4th one. Trevor Larnach, I think that's how you pronounce it, to hit a home run. He is best offered at +4. +5. I think it went up to 575. I sent this out at +550, so that's what I officially track as part of my metrics. But check out Bet365 because they were 550, and I think they bumped it up to 575. So check that out. Larnach has been incredibly hot at the plate. You look at him over his last 2 weeks. I mean, what, 6 barrels in his last 6 games, or no, 5, math is hard. 5 barrels over his last 6 games. That's all also over the last 2 weeks, but they've all been hit in this 5-game stretch. 20 hard hits is pretty good, but you look at it like really since this number on May 4th, maybe he's a Star Wars guy, May the 4th be with you. That's when his hot streak really started. All 5 barrels in that stretch, 14 hard hits. I think this is in 7 games, averaging 2 a game is really, really good. Just coming off of 3 hard hits and 2 barrels. Now, none of those were home runs, but he had 2 singles and a double. He had a home run 2 games ago, and then he had a home run 4 games ago on May 8th. And yeah, he's been good at the plate. You look at his numbers on the year. Again, ISO rate lower than what we would want, but again, it's a hot batter. And the barrel rate is again lower than what we would want, but it's a hot batter. You look at his splits, and I mean, this isn't surprising. He's a lefty that can only hit righties. All 6 of his home runs have come against righties. I mean, he's got 4 hits in 28 at-bats against lefties. So that ISO rate that was a little bit gross, a little bit more respectable, and the barrel rate against righties is much better. The pitcher he's going up against, Dean Kremer, dong ball enthusiast. Guy loves giving up home runs. One of his favorite things to do. Home run per 9, 1.61 is bad. You look at that against lefties, it's a lot worse. 6 of his 8 home runs haven't hit against lefties. Granted, yeah, in more batter space, but still, I mean, that home run per 9 jumps up to 210 against lefties. That's bad. The biggest thing is his hard hit rate is 12% higher, and that pull rate is a little bit higher as well. Now, these two actually just saw each other. Huge advantage in favor of Trevor Larnach. But if you're a batter versus pitcher guy, well, he saw him 6 days ago, back on May 8th. He struck out once. That's okay. He hit a home run. That home run was sent 393 feet, 104 miles per hour off the bat. And then the other one wasn't a home run, was sent almost 100 miles an hour off the bat, 99.8, hit it to dead center field, and 347 feet. You want that one to be a little bit farther. But really, really good numbers for Trevor Larnach recently. Really good numbers against the pitcher. Really good numbers against over the last 2 weeks and against the pitch mix, which is the last thing. And then we can get on out of here. I'll quickly give you my leans. But Kremer, if you look at the pitches or the home runs he's given up to lefties, 2 off his 4-seamer, 2 off his splitter, 2 off of his cutter. So we're going to call those his home run pitches. Well, Trevor Larnach really hits those pitches hard off of right-handed pitching. So we're going to look at him. So we went against a lefty against a righty. So we want Trevor Larnach. This is his, these are his numbers against those 4. No, we don't want the sinker. We want the splitter. These are his numbers against those 3 pitches, which are the home run pitches, right? 14% barrel rate. Hard hit rate of 44% is a little bit low. Fly ball rate, 35% is okay. But we look at the last 2 weeks as opposed to the month, everything's higher. And that's really when Larnach started to catch heat 26% barrel rate, and then almost 60% combined line drive plus flat ball rate. So, and you look at just, 102 off the bat, 108, 109, 104, 103, 100.5, 99.7. Just really, really good numbers for Trevor Larnach. 414-foot double. Come on. That happens tonight, I'm going to be very upset. If you hit a baseball and that number starts with a 4, you should get credit for that being a home run. Anyways, this is our fourth and final pick of the video. Trevor Larnach to hit a home run. Very, very confident in him. Very confident in all 4 guys that we have for today. Kyle Schwarber, plus 420. Kerry, Carpenter, plus 475. Trevor Larnach, plus 550. Actually, again, I think you can get plus 575. And then Heliot Ramos, plus 560. That's all 4 guys to hit a home run. And then in terms of leans, I did get a lean yesterday. I had Pete Crow Armstrong as a lean. I really like Byron Buxton. Got to take him in game 2. He's not as good in game 1. Shohei Ohtani and Fernando Tatis, I like both of them individually. They both have really stinky odds. Like, Ohtani is disgusting. I can refresh it to see if anything's updated. But Ohtani is plus 176 and plus 190. That's disgusting. And then Tatis is, a little bit more respectable. Plus 285 is still a little bit gross. So if you want to parlay those 2 together, I don't hate that. And then the dance I always play is who to decide between Kerry, Carpenter, and Riley Green. I decided on Kerry. I think they're both good options. Kerry just got a little bit better numbers across the board, which is why I went with him in terms of pitch mix and all that stuff. But yeah, this is our 4. If we get all 4 guys to hit a home run, guess what? We make back basically all of the losses that we've had over the last 5 days and then some. And if you parlay them together, that's like 10 units of profit for $1. But we profit 5 units if we get all these guys to hit a home run. That'd be amazing. Let's at least get 1, and then we'll go from there. So that's all we got. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, I understand the frustration, all that stuff. It's not been fun for me either, but I got a lot of positive comments, and I appreciate that. Even the negative ones, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to bet responsibly, all that good stuff. The dogs say hello, and have a good one.